bit over a month ago I done my first brew day, and it was a golden ale. And for those that have watched that video, the only difference in the two kegs, I brewed on a Guten 70, so I fermented in two different fermenters. I fermented one with Kveik yeast, and that ferment was done at 35 degrees, and it fermented very quickly, about 2.5 days, and it was basically down to 1.011, which was about where we expected it to finish. The other fermenter, we used the Lallemand Verdant IPA yeast, very good yeast. It's also a pretty quick yeast, and it was fermented out in about 3.5, maybe 4 days. It took a bit longer, but both were kept in the fermenters for 4 weeks. So we just get a look at them. There's a fair difference, and the difference has blown me away. So on your left is the Kveik, and on your right is the Verdant. Don't know whether you can really see it, I'm not in great light, but the Verdant is a lot clearer, it's a lot lighter in colour, good head retention, nice smell, nice hoppy smell. This was a single grain brew of Voyager Valoria Schooner, and we used Centennial and Mosaic hops. The Verdant, the Voss is not as clear, and probably 2 EBC darker. There's differences in both beers. So if I take the Voss beer, and it's got a fresh smell, but it hasn't got that hoppiness about it that the Verdant has. So it's quite clean, the smell's quite clean, and the taste, is a bit malty and a little bit more bitter, a little more bitterness, and the hops don't really come through. I haven't used the Centennial or the Mosaic hops before, but I think I used all up about 235 grams of hops in the brew, and there was a dry hop involved of I think the dry hop was 30 grams of each. I'd have to go back to the recipe. So if we now go to the Verdant IPA, really clean. It's not quite as clear as a lot of my beers are, but you know, it is reasonably clear. I mean, it is an ale, and when you smell it, there's a hoppiness about it. There's a hoppy citrus, just a pleasant citrusy smell. When we taste it, it's got a lot cleaner taste, not quite as malty. The malt is a bit hidden, and it's much more citrus flavoured, very clean, not quite as bitter. So I like both beers. There's no risk, both beers are nice. They both come out, didn't quite hit the numbers. I think I was expecting about 4.7% alcohol, and they've come out about 4.4, 4.5. So they're a good lawnmower beer, so to speak. They're both a pleasant beer to drink, I must admit. I think, me personally, I don't know that I would use the Voss yeast again in a beer that was going to be somewhat hoppy, but I think it'd be an excellent beer yeast to use in, say, an amber ale, or beers that, you know, are more malt forward beers more than a hop forward beer. Not that this was a big hop forward beer, I might add. It's just a pleasant beer. I don't really do hop forward beers, but it's a good comparison, and I was extremely surprised at the 35 degree. You know, it really blew it apart, the Voss. I mean, it blew it apart in 2.5 days. I didn't do a starter. It was just sprinkled the dry yeast. It was Lullerman, so it was dry yeast just sprinkled on top of the wort, oxygenated, shut down. It wasn't done under pressure. They were both done in the Keg King stainless steel conical fermenters, so there's no pressure involved. Both come out, as I say, they're both a nice beer, but there's a distinct difference in the beers. So we might do a brew of a more malt forward, even a lager or something. I don't know. I might look at it, and then we might do the same sort of comparison with a Kveik yeast and another yeast, might even do a liquid yeast like a London yeast or something, and do an ESB or an English bitter. That'd be a good comparison, I think. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Yeah, the golden ale turned out nice, and I'll certainly brew that beer again. So thank you and enjoy.